Welcome back. We now have a complete upper body superset routine from start to finish for you. We'll start with back. Muscle groups always get worked when we do this, from largest muscle group down to smallest. So back on the upper body is the largest muscle group, and the first superset is going to be stiff arm pull downs, supersetted with supinated grip, so reverse grip, palms up grip, pull downs. There'll be 3/4 of these supersets. Pull down, stretch to start with, pull it down, keep it back nice and tight, keep your chest high. You will see lots of people leaning back on these. Don't. Keep it in nice and tight. Pull it down, keep good posture. Again, with this type of training, it is quite fast, it's quite intense, but what you'll find with it is, just, as with every other part of weight training, kind of life really, is get your mind right, get in, get on with it, enjoy it, have some great fun. The harder you work, the more fun it is. I know it sounds daft, but it's like anything. If you put a lot into something, then you tend to get a lot out, and it becomes much more enjoyable, more of a challenge. You raise the level of the bar every time you come in. You'll see a lot of people, that's all they're doing in the gym. I mean, the guy behind, for instance, he's just kind of standing around really. There'll be in between these combinations. So one set is a set of stiff arms, and as quickly as possible to the pull downs, which Julie's doing now, and then there would be a rest of about, well, I would actually do the set, and then Julie would do a set, and I would do a set. It works quite well like that way. The rest would be anywhere about a minute, I suppose, in between supersets, maybe a minute and a half. And then the next superset is for chest, so we're going from back to chest. Now chest will be, hugs is always a good isolation exercise. We start with an exercise that trains primarily the chest. There may be a little bit of shoulder in it, but mainly the chest is what's working here, and only the chest. Then the next exercise would be what's called a compound exercise, which is an exercise that works the chest but also would work other muscle groups, so the shoulders, the triceps. So what it does, it pushes the chest past the point of exhaustion. So the chest is now exhausted. So now Julie's going to continue to work the chest with the help of the shoulders and triceps, and she's going to do that with feet raised press ups. Makes it harder to raise your feet up, and now the chest is continuing to work, but because the triceps and shoulders are involved, it can push it past, and it's called pre-exhaust. You're exhausted with an isolation exercise, and then you push it past exhaustion with triceps and shoulders. It's an excellent superset. This it's hard work, but it's really good. Quite often the simple supersets are the most effective. So you pull from the sternum. You can see Julie's chest working on these. Excellent exercise, good machine. So he's pulling across, you can see the lines, yeah. Oh, good camera work. Squeezing from the sternum, each set. So now the chest is shattered and it's down, feet up. Don't let it rest. And you'll see the triceps and they're working to push it into further exhaustion. The chest now wants to rest, but it's being worked harder. And that's the idea of supersetting very often. Pre-exhaust. So on the back, the stiff arm pull downs are isolation, and then the reverse grip pull downs with the help of biceps and shoulders and rear shoulders, push it further into exhaustion. Now, similar well, not similar, exactly the same principle for shoulders. Lateral raises that Julie's doing now, which work the shoulders in isolation, and then she's going to go to, I believe, she'll go to an upright row, a pulley upright row, which using the biceps and the trapezius and the back will then push the shoulders past that point of exhaustion. So now it's an upright row, but on a pulley this time, on a low pulley, on a bar. Very different feel to what the barbell you saw earlier in demonstration 2. Good posture. Julie's shoulders are really, she's struggling now with the shoulders, pushing it by, but she's able to carry on because the biceps are pulling that up, the shoulders are helping. Excellent. Good superset. You felt that? There's. Normally do about 3 of these, and they do get your heart rate up. So any of you that are interested in efficiency, this is efficient. This is not only is it a weights workout, it's a cardiovascular workout. This will take not much more than half an hour from start to finish to do the whole of your upper body, maybe 45 minutes, and your heart rate's going to be up. It's never going to come down past what would you call your training zone. You'll be at 60% and above all the way through, unless you start gossiping, and even then you should be able to carry on training and still talk and be sociable. The only reason people don't talk to us is because we're holding the camera, and we don't do this all the time. It's just occasionally, obviously. There you go. I told you Julie's smiling. I told you she enjoys her training. I've only actually taped 2 of these, haven't I? 2 sets. There's 3, honestly. This one now, she's using the low pulley. Now normally we wouldn't superset, wouldn't isolate and do 2 bicep exercises. So this will be a bicep and tricep exercise. So first exercise, pulley curls, and you can see Julie's biceps work. Julie's biceps are quite strength on her physique. Her shoulders, her arms are generally quite good. A little bit of artistic black and white in there. I was editing the video, and I clicked something and it gave me this, and I was quite impressed it did, but I haven't got a clue how I did it. It's a nice touch though. I'll be up for some sort of prize, I'm sure. The clueless pushing button prize, probably. As you can see, Julie works too. I'm pretty sure there might be another rep there, but it's quite pretty close to failure on most of the things she does. And now this is triceps. So the first one she was pulling up from the bottom, this one she's pushing down from the top, and it's the opposite muscle group. It's the back of your arm as opposed to the front of your arm. When Julie started training, she didn't have any triceps, and it can be quite a problem area for ladies, an area where fat likes to accumulate. They call it dinner lady arms in the UK. I don't know what they call it in America. But Julie's developed quite a decent pair of triceps now, and it's just through hard work. So anyone that says they can't do, can't's not really a word to use. Anything's possible. I heard some one day somebody says, if you hear can't, change the can't to won't, and then once you've turned into a won't, then you ask yourself why won't you, and then you answer the question and you normally will. So you see the triceps moving. The camera work is unbelievable today on this. You can actually see the base of Julie's back as well, where she's almost got a Christmas tree in there, the shape of a Christmas tree, which is very sought after in bodybuilding terms. And these dips, bench dips, what they do is they, rather than the body weight dips, they put more emphasis on the triceps. And when you're tired, they're a little bit easier than body weight dips, or a lot easier than body weight dips. And this is a variation on the curl for arms. Now this is called hammer curls, because your hand is in a position kind of as if you're holding a hammer, palms facing forward, and hits kind of at the outside of the bicep and the top of the forearm. It's a great, we call it a finishing exercise. Once you've done your arms, to finish off on the outside, you see just outside the elbow, it's an excellent exercise. Give some finish to the arm. I'd imagine Julie, I can't remember. I imagine Julie's quite close to a show now as well. She's not carrying a lot of body fat in these pictures, and and that's normally a sign that she's got a show coming up. Right, these are a strange looking exercise, but these are just a strict way to do wrist curls. Julie's actually working her forearms, and all you do is hold the barbell between your back, behind your back, and then you roll your hands up and down. So all you're doing is flexing at the wrist, and it's working her forearms. The kind of veiny, the little veiny bit, the meaty bit just underneath the elbow there. They're quite effective. They are an effective exercise. It helps if you've got a friend to give you the bar though, but I probably left Julie to struggle to get it while I held the camera. And then when she says help when she finishes, because her forearms will be burning and she'll be hanging on to that, wanting to get rid of it with all of her heart. Oh, that's how she got rid of those. I'll take that back, that was easy. Yeah, she must be close to a show, because now she's going to practice posing. She's not actually, this would have been one of the first shows she did, because she looked kind of uncertain. Her posing actually got really good. And she didn't do many. These are static compulsories that you have to do, the first poses she's going through. So this is that's relaxed, believe it or not. In competitive bodybuilding parlance, that's a relaxed. These are quarter turns. You do 4 quarter turns, then you do some compulsory poses. I'll talk you through it. So these are quarter turns. Everyone has to do these. And then next ones are compulsories, and everybody has to do the compulsories as well. So that's a double bicep. So and to probably do these in the order you have to actually do them on stage for the UK PFF. So that's a double bicep. Next one is that's a lat spread. There are some strange poses, and a lot of the federations don't use these poses for ladies. It's very undecided whether what they want and what they call feminine and what they don't call feminine. It's a bit male dominated, I'm afraid. This is going to be a side tricep, but Julie's struggling. She's looking in the mirror to see how best the legs look from the side. That's a side chest, and she's kind of got her legs all wrong really, but and you think I mean, if you saw her pose now, you wouldn't believe it. It's dancey, and yeah, that's a good side chest pose now. She's got her legs right, but when you're on stage, you got to be in and out of that in literally only a few seconds if they're hard pushed. If there's a lot of competitors, even quicker. You don't get this amount of time. That's a back double biceps, but what they do is they judge your calves and your hamstrings as well on that pose. So first thing she did was plant her legs and do that. This is a lat spread to the rear. So you do the poses to the front and the rear. Again, they're judging the calves and hamstrings as well. So you have to keep tensed on everything. And this should be a side tricep. Yeah, so they did. But they don't just, I mean, because it's called a side tricep, they're not just looking at the tricep. They're looking at your abdominals, your side, your legs, your shoulders. There's a lot to think about. This is much more difficult than it looks. And this one's an ab and thigh, so they're looking at your abdominals and your thigh mostly. Julie's not really tensed her thigh very much there, but she's got her abs down really well, squeezed them out, and she's breathing out. And there's a lot of effort there. And the art of posing is to put the effort in, but not actually look like you are. And I thank you very much at that stage, and I will see you or speak to you in demo 4. Thank you.